What up, big birds? Blah blah. Whole spiel. Oh man, a full day of recording these is like, oh man. I used to be like, how hard could it be to like be an actor on TV or something? Oof. If it's anything like this, bro, a lot of work, a lot of like just doing the same stuff over and over. Big stretch. Oof. What was I? Oh, dude. All right. Let's go over how you're gonna do these peer reviews. We've never done EOC peer reviews before, and I do that for a reason. I always save them until the very end, until ideally, hopefully, people have a greater understanding of how to do the EOCs. It also serves as a way of review for your exam. So you can kind of get in the mindset of a grader for the EOCs. The peer reviews are not going to be overly complex. I just want to talk about exactly what to do, excuse me, and how many of them to do and all that good stuff. So, um, one second here. All right. You should have, and if you haven't already, you will receive this on paper. It's just easier to do these particular peer reviews on paper. Now, I do want you to do, you see how it says student one and student two? I need you to do two of them. Like everybody should have done two, and everybody should have gotten two different sets of eyeballs on their EOCs, which means whoever the first person is will review, yes, your EOC A and B, right? And then you'll get a second person to review your EOC A and B. And then you should have the same for you, right? So two different sets of eyeballs on it. Now, it is for whatever reason, like out of order, and I have B first and then A. And if I had to guess why I did that in the past, it was because I tell kids to start with EOCB. So maybe that's why I did it. I don't remember. It doesn't matter though. Obviously, this is your name that goes on here because you're the one completing the review. No, you're getting your review completed. I'm so sorry. I have this all backwards. You'll put your name on it so you can keep track of like what paper belongs to you. And then for student one, this is who reviewed your paper. Okay. And the same thing for student two. Anyways, these are the questions that when I go to grade your EOCs, I have to ask, and these are the same questions that when the AP graders go to grade your EOCs, they have to ask themselves, right? So they're simple yes or no questions, and that's because the rubric is kind of like yes or no. There's really no middle ground. So it's a pretty basic like layout of how these get graded, right? Um, so what you're going to do is you're just going to go through and you're going to do exactly this. I need you to put the full effort into it though, because people are relying on your feedback. Okay. Um, you're going to read the EOCB first and the EOCA. You're not just going to like try to do this as you go along. Read it first so you have a better understanding of it as a whole. And then you're just going to go through, you're going to answer these, right? Is there a clear, debatable claim, right? So that means like thesis or whatever. Um, do not ask the person that you're grading any questions. Okay. I say this every time. Do not ask them any questions. Do not be, don't say like, oh, can you tell me where your thesis is? If you can't locate it, if you don't know clearly what it is, then your answer to this would be no. Okay. It should be so evident what the thesis is that a third grader could identify it. So if you're searching and you're like, man, I just don't know where the thesis is supposed to be in this, then the answer is no. Don't ask them any questions. All right. Don't be afraid to be, honest and all that stuff. They need it. Okay. And then you just go through and you answer the rest of these. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. And they're all yes or no, and they're pretty self-explanatory, right? So, oh, some of these though, you might need help. What exactly it means. So, like this one, is the student interacting with the sources? This just means like, are they like putting them in conversation with each other at any point in the paper? Do they do that, right? Um, this one is like, do they use the evidence correctly? Which means, did they analyze it correctly? Did they cherry pick? If they cherry picked, then the answer is no, did they provide context? Did they give synthesis after the evidence? All that good stuff, right? Did they connect their evidence to the claim? You guys know what that means, right? So is it evident why they used the evidence that they used? Um, so on and so forth. And then you'll go to the rubric. The rubric is in Google Classroom somewhere. Go find it. You know what I mean? Or hopefully I reposted it if I remembered. But it is in Google Classroom somewhere. Anyways, you'll score it, right? You're going to give them their scores and then you'll give a brief explanation of the score. down here, or if you want to give a more detailed explanation, you could flip it over to the back, perhaps. And oh no, because the A will be on the back. Never mind. Just try to be brief, or if you just want to tell them why you gave them the score that you gave them, fine. But you'll give them scores in each of the rows. Uh, and you'll move on, right? Same thing for EOCA. This is super straightforward because on the EOCA, it literally is like, did you do it or did you not do it? Now for the A, it says, do they have all three parts of the argument? I'm going to take this out right now. Do they have all parts of the argument? Because I haven't decided which mock I'm going to give you yet. Um, so do they have all parts of the argument, which means did they mention the overall argument altogether, in your opinion, right? Now, this might be difficult because, you know, some of you may have uh, done well on these, some of you may have not, but we're just going to hope for the best here. So you're going to go through it now. If you're somebody who struggled on the particular EOCA that I gave you for this mock that you guys are peer reviewing, and your Q3, like you maybe didn't get through your whole Q3, you should still be able to go back in the article and look at the evidence and then look how they did theirs. And you should still be able to analyze. It just might take a little more work than what you would like it to. But it's the same thing. You're going to go through, you're going to answer the questions, and then you're going to score it. You're going to give them a total. You can tell them why. Bada bing, bada boom. This is straightforward. This is nothing crazy. And then the reflection is obviously for the person that the paper belongs to. Um, so in the space below, you'll explain what you'll do differently when you write your next EOC. It says, what have you taken away from this activity? That doesn't mean like introspectively. It doesn't mean like, have I changed as a human being? It just means like, what areas specifically have you realize that you definitely need to give a little more attention to, right? This isn't like where you go in there and you're just like, I didn't take anything away. I am who I am before I started, and I'll be who I'll be when it is all said and done, right? That's not what this is for. So don't get real weird about it, Xavier. Uh, just yeah, you get it. All right. I'm not gonna keep rambling on. So let's stop share. Thanks. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Thanks. Thank. Miss you. That was a weird voice. Didn't like that, did that. Okay. Fine.